Barbie Forteza stood at the edge of the crowd, her gaze quietly fixed on David Licauco as he smiled for the cameras. She wasn't trying to steal the spotlight or make a statement, but there was something unmistakable in the way her eyes followed him. Pride, warmth, and something softer, deeper. She had always believed in him, even before the lights, the red carpet, and the headlines. Now, seeing him in this moment, surrounded by applause and flashes, it felt like watching a dream slowly fall into place. When someone asked her how she felt about the film, she didn't hesitate. "I'm proud," she said, her voice low but steady. "Not just because he's part of it. I've seen how much he's poured into this." She didn't need to say more. The sincerity in her tone said it all. It wasn't just about the film, it was about who he had become. The long hours, the quiet doubts, the discipline. She had witnessed those away from all this noise. Later in the evening, when the audience had settled and the lights dimmed, they found themselves sitting beside each other, a comfortable silence between them. Her hand brushed against his, and for a moment they didn't move. It wasn't deliberate. It just happened, like two familiar rhythms finding each other again. He turned slightly, eyes scanning her face not for approval, but for something gentler. She gave him a small smile, the kind that said, "You did it. I saw it. I'm here." There hadn't been any declarations, no bold professions of love. But in their world, it was the quiet gestures that carried weight. The way she waited for him after the screening, her arms crossed loosely, her eyes catching his the second he stepped out of the cinema. The way he leaned in as they talked, his voice low even when the crowd grew loud. These weren't just habits. They were patterns carved from years of knowing each other's pace. He didn't have to ask if she liked the film. She didn't have to tell him either. It was in the way she looked at him, unwavering, grounded. And maybe that was what made it all real. Not the glitz, not the premiere, not even the applause. But the simple truth that beneath everything, she was proud not because he was being celebrated, but because he had remained exactly who he was. When the night slowed down and the crowd began to thin, they found themselves standing side by side again. No cameras, no questions. Just the two of them, sharing a moment that didn't need to be explained. She nudged him gently, and he laughed under his breath, shaking his head. "What?" she asked, half teasing. "Nothing," he said, eyes soft. "Just thanks for being here." She didn't say anything. She didn't need to. Her fingers found his for a second, warm and brief, before she let go. And in that small, fleeting touch, everything unspoken between them felt understood.